Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name's Cinderellimouse and today we're looking at cross-compatibility features between the Sims 4 Lovestruck expansion pack and all the other packs. Thank you as always to the EA Creator Network for giving me a code for this pack and early access. Okay, so the first thing that I noticed when I jumped into my game was that there was an additional option for the Cupid's Corner behavior. So whether or not it brings in gallery sims, but also you've got an option to enable occult sims in Cupid's Corner. So if you don't want vampires, werewolves, aliens and things like that turning up, you can disable this feature. Next up, now this is one of the patch features that is actually being applied to the base game. So if you have things like City Living or Lovestruck, where you have these penthouse apartments, you can actually go and turn those into rental residentials now. So you can turn these into rentals with for rent, basically, which we weren't able to do before. So it's brilliant that we have access to that now, because I love the idea of having kind of apartments on these big penthouse buildings and kind of building my own. I think that's really cool and I'm very excited for this. The next thing I wanted to have a quick look at was Cupid's Corner, because I wanted to see what kind of sims were showing up in there once I had all packs installed. And I was really excited to see people like May, the headmistress, Lavinia, the mayor from Hempford on Bagley, and people like Katrina Caliente, Judith Wood, all these familiar faces. So I was excited to see that because I really like seeing, the sims that actually exist in my world showing up on the app. So that was cool. I am a big fan of the club system from Get Together, so this was something I really wanted to check. I had Eva Capricosa from the Party House household make a Woohoo club and went to check what was showing up in the club kind of rules feature. I was able to find the filter for the new romantic consultant career. I was also able to find the traits, love bug and romantically reserved on there. I'm a bit disappointed that they didn't update the relationship filters, because I think it would have been cool to have like single sims, sims with a partner, sims who are engaged, sims who are divorced. I think that would have been a really cool update to the club system, but that wasn't an option, unfortunately. So I was able to find some new club rules. The really funny one was look for, breed or release axoteles, which is a very specific niche, but I think that'll be really fun for, like, I don't know, your high school science clubs and things like that, or your fishing clubs, to have that specific interest. I was a bit disappointed that I couldn't find anything to do with the picnic blankets on there. I thought take a picnic would have been a really, really nice option, but wear costumes from the costume trunk was on there, and also play Who's Up party games. So we are getting a few updates to the club system. I'm a bit sad that the picnic baskets aren't on there, unless I just didn't see them, but yeah, I couldn't find them. The next thing I wanted to check was some of the activities available for the creator date system that rely on other expansion packs. So the first one I wanted to check with the Hecking household was the animals activity. I wanted to know what kind of animals would satisfy this. Now I didn't get to check everything. It turned out to be a little bit harder to set up than I was anticipating. But they do have a little dog, and I was able to take their dog on a date with them, which I thought that was really cool, to be able to take your pets as a guest along on the dates. You can also take your children on dates with you if you wanted to have, a child appropriate date and you didn't have childcare or something like that, or you wanted to celebrate an anniversary but you wanted to make it a family event. I think that's really cool to have those options. Now with the animals, I was able to satisfy the goals by petting and hugging and paying attention to their own dog. Uploading their picture to Simstagram didn't work though, unfortunately. Maybe take a picture. Maybe that would work for take a picture. I don't know. I didn't test that, but I keep thinking of other things I want to test. Then I kind of ran around the whole of Chestnut Ridge trying to find a horse to talk to. It took me quite a long time, but eventually I did find a horse, and that did satisfy the talk to animals opportunity. My cat wants to come in actually. Hold on. It's like my cat knew that I was talking about animals. It was like, I have been summoned. So he's making dough balls on my bed now and settling down to go to sleep. So yeah, I did try to get some chickens and goats and cows, but unfortunately, because I was on a I was on a park lot, so I couldn't actually get them out there. I think I would have to go to somebody else's lot who owns animals. I was able to buy a sheep and a goat though, and they also satisfied the rules for playing with animals. So yeah, that worked pretty well. It worked kind of as I expected it to, and it was really wholesome and sweet. And again, I really like to be able to customize dates around the interests of the Sims. And I do really like as well that there are a lot of new date topics. There are a lot of conversational interactions now, depending on all the different interests and activities that your Sims are doing. So it feels a lot more customized to me. While I was there, I also decided to check out the Play in Snow activity, and this worked as I was expecting it to as well. So you're going to get snow if you have things like Snowy Escape or Seasons, and I did the activity Build Snowmen Together, and this did satisfy that goal for the date. While I was kind of playing around and taking different Sims on dates, I did keep on getting the pop-up for the wholesome relationship dynamic. This one seemed to pop up a lot more than the others, but I think that's just because I tend to prefer wholesome interactions. So it might just be the way that I play, which was causing me to have this pop up a lot. So just letting you know that that will pop up through gameplay. You don't have to set it in CAS. I did also get some pop-ups for what kind of interactions my Sims were liking, and I was really excited for this because I hadn't seen this yet, I don't think, for the new romantic preferences, the turn-ons and turn-offs. But unfortunately, when I checked, it was just for the growing together kind of conversation topics that came with growing together, and it wasn't specifically the romantic versions. I was hoping that that would pop up while I was playtesting today because it was something I wanted to check, but unfortunately I didn't see it. That doesn't mean that they're not there, it just means that I've been really unlucky and haven't been able to catch it on camera. But I do feel like when I was playing off camera, I did manage to get those through gameplay. I just don't seem to be able to get them to trigger right now. The next thing that I wanted to check was, will the rabbit hole cinema that's in San Sequoia satisfy the TV activities goals for the crafted dates? It does specify when you actually go on the date, the goals will say TV or film. However, the pop-ups were all about talking about TV and talking about film, and I didn't actually get any goals specifically to talk about watching the TV or watching a film. So I sent them on a date to the cinema anyway, but just be aware that it is a little bit time consuming, so it is going to eat into the overall time on that date. But I do think it's very complimentary. So if you do take your Sims on a date to the cinema and they do watch a movie there, even if you don't have a specific goal for it, the goals to talk about it afterwards, there are quite a few different new interactions there, and I think that's really interesting as well. I think it gives more flavor to the date when you have these conversation topics where you get to actually react and talk about the things that you're doing. I really like that aspect of the new pack. One thing I was quite excited about, because I don't think I'd seen this till this point, was that Celeste actually got the love bug trait as a bonus trait. I think getting bonus traits in itself is a feature of growing together, so you may have to have that expansion pack installed to actually get the additional traits in the first place, but she did get the opportunity to take that trait on in addition to her existing traits, and I was super excited about that because at least we know that that's possible now. Next up, I jumped over to Solani to have a look at some of the other activities. So I took swim and stargaze, but I decided to do these activities at the beach. I was really happy with how this turned out because I found it quite easy to fulfill the goals. I felt like the date itself really suited the family because, you know, they could swim around. I also took the child on the date, and, you know, sorry, I just saw the mayor from Strangerville running off like a zombie from watching my footage back. So they did take the child on the day because I wanted this to again be like a friendly family day where they're teaching the child about positive relationships and, you know, what healthy grown-up relationships can look like. And so I wanted to do things that felt appropriate. So I took them swimming. So I did have this option to coach swimming, which I think came from a different pack. And I was wondering if that would satisfy the talk about swimming goal, but it didn't seem like it did. So I had to look at the other things to fulfill that. So there was one that said rave about swimming pools, which seemed a bit strange to me because I was at the beach swimming in the ocean, and it's like I didn't really want to talk about swimming pools at that point. But there were other options beyond that. That wasn't the only option. I also wanted to check whether the beach supplies stand would stock any new items. So, for example, the picnic blanket, I thought that would be really cute and an appropriate beach activity, but unfortunately nothing new was listed there from what I could see. So I did place the picnic blanket myself, and I thought it was really beautiful. I thought it was a really nice day to kind of like have a picnic at the beach, kind of on the dock, and I was also happy that the child was able to come along and get some food as well. It does seem like only 2 Sims can sit on the picnic blanket, which is a bit disappointing because it would have been nice if it was like the activity table from Parenthood, the homework activities where you can have multiple Sims sitting around. But the way it played out for me here was only 2 Sims would sit on it and the child stood, but it was still a nice activity and I was still quite happy to have it. I was really happy with all the new interactions that these kind of dates can give you and kind of venue specific or activity specific interactions. They really did feel like they suited this family, especially like the fitness interactions. I placed down a restaurant from the gallery, La Margaritas by Muojo Lojol. Sorry if I said that wrong. But I thought that the theme of the restaurant kind of suited the world, so I just went ahead and placed that. And I sent my Sims over there. Now, even though I chose an outdoor table and unfortunately due to seasons, there was a massive thunderstorm in the new world, which is really cool in itself because it was winter and I didn't get any kind of coating of snow, but I did see this like really tropical rainstorm. So if you have seasons installed, I do feel like the weather is quite appropriate to the setting. But yeah, they had quite a successful day and I was really happy with how it went overall. I do think that going on restaurant dates is going to be one of my preferred date types overall as I continue playing with this pack. There are new interactions to talk about your food and talk about your drinks that come with the new expansion pack, Lovestruck. Unfortunately, the existing interactions to talk about your food and drinks that come with Dine Out do not satisfy the goals for this type of date, which I feel like is quite a big oversight and I'm quite disappointed that they don't. And the main reason for that, like, it's fine because there are ways to satisfy it and if you know which ones to use, it's fine. But I think for most players, when you come to a day and you get a goal to talk about food and you see an interaction that involves talking about food, you would expect that to satisfy it. You can't expect every player to know specifically which interaction is from which pack. So I would like them to update that because I feel like that's a really big missed opportunity, and it's only a small thing, but it does really bother me. The next thing that I wanted to try was the take photos activity that comes with dates, and does this work with the Moschino photography studio, and also the art activities like the activity to paint. Will graffiti from City Living satisfy this goal? So I did test both of these things and luckily both of them worked. So I had Penny Pizzazz test this and Father Winter came up as an option on Cupid's Corner and thought, why not? So I got some great photos, some great sexy photos of Clement Frost using the Moschino system, and yeah, that worked really, really well. And then I took Father Winter out, or Clement Frost out, to do some graffiti at the art gallery, and that also satisfied these requirements, and I was really, really happy with how this turned out because you get all these new interactions that feel appropriate to the venue and to the activities to discuss art and things like this. So yeah, I was really happy with that. It just feels like the Sims are more aware of the choices that you're making for them in terms of like their likes, their interests, and which venue you're taking them to. And I really do like that I can take all these different households who have different interests, like the Hecking family love animals, so I can take them on an animal themed date. Or Penny Pizzazz loves art, so I can take her on a date where she goes to the art gallery and does photography and art. And I can go to Solani and have a swimming and picnic themed date. And it's really satisfying to me because I feel like each each date has a lot more personality. And so even though there's a few small things where I'd say, oh, I would love them to do a little bit more there, or, you know, I would love them to incorporate that, on the whole, I'm really enjoying it and I'm really impressed with it. This is where I feel like it all went a little bit wrong. So I decided to look at the season's holiday planner, where you can create custom holidays, similar to how you can create custom dates. This allows you to have, you know, sim worldwide holidays like Love Day or Spooky Day, or even, you know, holidays that resemble Christmas or Thanksgiving. So I created a Romance Day holiday similar to Love Day, but specifically I wanted Sims to go on a date, give each other flowers and wear costumes, because all these three things are new features that come with Lovestruck. So I wanted to see if this was compatible or not. So I went to Del Sol Valley and I grabbed one of my favourite Sims, my Lord and Saviour Thorn Bailey, and I know he's not the most popular Sim, and his wife Octavia Moon. And, you know, while I was waiting for the day to trigger, they had some really lovely family time and, you know, spoke to their son and kind of encouraged him to have healthy relationships, which I thought really suited them. I had them watching reality TV and I thought, do you know what? I really like the idea of them having to tell their child like what healthy relationships look like, because, you know, if they're growing up in Del Sol Valley, which is this whole celebrity world, you know, they might have like a bit of a weird idea of, you know, kind of like a reality TV show idea of what relationships look like. So they did some really great parenting while they were waiting for this holiday to start, and I really enjoyed that whole thing, so I just wanted to mention it. Once they actually got on the date though, things got a little bit wrong because well, first I had them dress in costumes, and really unfortunately, using the costume chest which comes with Lovestruck did not satisfy the goal to wear costumes, which comes from the planning season's holidays, and I was really disappointed in that. That feels like a massive oversight to me, so I will feed that back to the team one way or another, and yeah, hopefully they can update that at some point, because it just feels like a huge missed opportunity to me. Also, it was quite funny though, seeing Thorn Bailey and Octavia Moon kind of running around dressed as a peach and an aubergine, and then having like the paparazzi turn up and start taking photos of them. It really tickled me. I had a lot of fun playing with this. Oh yeah, Thorn Bailey also developed the high maintenance trait. As a bonus trait that was with growing together, you can get additional traits, and I just thought it suited him really well. So I took that. just wanted to share that with you. And then because he had the high maintenance trait, he was running around dressed as an aubergine. So he had this costume on, and then he decided he hated the sun and he was too hot, and he had like a celebrity strop, which the whole thing was just really funny. So I wanted to try gifting the flowers in different ways. I used Give Romantic Gift, and then I chose one of the new bouquets of flowers, and this didn't satisfy the holiday give flowers requirement, so really disappointed about that. Then I tried Affection Give Flowers, and that also didn't work, so you do actually have to specifically use the Give Romance Day gift option, which comes with seasons. So I really didn't like that. Again, similar to with Dine Out, where I expected all the conversations around food to satisfy that goal. I think any way that you gift flowers, you know, whether it's with seasons or whether it's with the new pack or whether it's with, you know, any kind of interaction from any pack, gifting flowers should satisfy that goal. And so I'm really sad that they didn't update that. And again, it just feels, I feel like it feels broken to the player, or it feels confusing to the player. If you see a goal and it's like wear costume or give flowers, and you get, you know, you see an interaction that gets a sim into costume, or an interaction which is gifting flowers, you know, it really feels broken when that doesn't work. It's like, well, why hasn't that satisfied that goal? And then it just feels really frustrating and confusing, because the interactions are all so similar. You know, to have to use a specific one, I feel like they really should have done a bit more work there, because that's confusing and frustrating to the player. There are still a few other things that I keep on thinking of that I want to check, but I'm kind of running a bit short on time, and I'm kind of getting a little bit of content creation burnout at this point. My back is hurting so badly from sitting at my desk filming videos for hours on end and then having to edit them for even longer. So I need to do some self-care, and I need to step away from my PC. So that is just some of the features that I thought of that I wanted to kind of test and share with you. But if you've got any more things that you want me to look at, do let me know. Something that I've not looked at yet is kind of like vacations, and whether, you know, taking a vacation kind of can be incorporated in some sort of way. So yeah, do let me know if there's anything else you want me to check, and kind of when my back is feeling a bit better, I can kind of come back and do that. Yeah, hopefully I've answered a lot of your questions. Hopefully, you have a better understanding of what you can and can't do with this pack now. And again, I'm a big fan of this pack. I'm really, really happy to have Lovestruck. I was gifted the code by EA, but I would definitely buy this pack. I really like romance in the game. I really like these kind of features. I'm having a lot of fun going on the dates, but again, there's nothing wrong with enjoying a pack and praising it and seeing all the good side, but also, you know, going in with a fine-tooth comb and saying, oh, this could be improved, this was missed, you know, I would love it if this worked a slightly different way. So as much as they've covered a lot of different bases, for example, having the animal features from different packs, you know, be something that you can do on a date, I think is really cool. But yeah, there is some fine-tuning that I hope they still continue to do, whether that is by the laundry list team or by, you know, maybe some kind of patch or update. I do think there is a little bit more work to do just to kind of cover all those bases, which I do think it's one of those things that, you know, maybe they can't really tell. Maybe there's just so much to do that they can't really think of everything until people start playing it, and then, you know, people start to find these really unique situations where they kind of go, oh, I expected that to work and it didn't. So as always, do give your feedback to the Sims team, whether that is via Twitter or Discord or whichever way that you feel comfortable doing that. There are a lot of different options, and make sure you do it respectfully as well. Make sure you present this kind of feedback as, hey, it would be great if, or hey, this didn't quite work how I was expecting it to. But I would encourage everybody to kind of like, you know, pass those notes on to the team, just so that we can get, you know, the pack working really, really well for everybody. And I think it is a bit of a team effort sometimes, kind of getting these packs working right. I'm just looking at the is it Brant or Brent hacking, kind of like brushing the horse. Really, really cute. So like I say, I have a lot of fun with this pack. I really love crafted dates. I really love all the new activity and venue based options. I do feel like this is giving me quite a lot to my game. I love turn-ons and turn-offs. So would I recommend this pack? If you're a player like me and you really love this sort of content, then yes, definitely. Do I think it's perfect? No, I don't. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. I hope this was helpful to you. Do take care of your faces, and I will see you again soon. Bye friends, and thank you everybody for all the support. Take care, bye.